There are 4 assessments in NFS 7410. The first is a project, and it's the first part of the project is worth 20% and is due on the 3rd of September at 4 p.m. In this project, you will index a collection and develop some baseline retrieval methods. The week after, there is the mid-semester exam. This is online, and again is worth 20%. It will take place during the usual live Q&A lecture time. The next piece of assessment is project part 2. In this project, you will take what you have done for part 1 and you will further extend it with additional methods, in particular methods based on the neural ranking algorithm that we will see and examine in the course. This piece of assessment is due on the 22nd of October at 4 p.m. Finally, there will be an oral exam. This will be conducted online and will be during the examination period. So the midterm exam is worth 20% and it's an individual assessment. It occurs in the middle of the semester during the live Q&A lecture time, and it happens in Blackboard and via Zoom. You will need a webcam, and this will be for identity verification. If you do not have a webcam and or a decent internet connection, please get in touch at least 3 weeks before the exam so that we can discuss arrangement. The exam will be based on multiple choice questions, and you will see examples of questions in the weekly Q&A session. And the solution to the exam will be posted online after the exam. The project has a part 1 and a part B, part 1 and part 2. Both parts are 20%. Each of the parts, are 20%. This is an individual project. I stress again, it's individual, so please do not copy from each other. And the project really relies on the infrastructure that you will develop during the computer pracs. So it's very important that you do attend and work in this computer pracs. The project, as I mentioned, is divided into 2 parts, and you need to submit a piece of assessment for each part, for each phase. The first part will look at implementing baselines for matching, fusion, and you will evaluate and compare methods. In part 2, you will implement neural models, and again you will evaluate and compare the methods. The project involves coding and write up a short report. It will be done in Python and within Python notebooks. So if you are not a confident programmer in Python, then you might struggle with the project. So here, please pay attention to the expected background knowledge. We again expect that you know how to program. We will mainly use Python, but we expect that you are confident with Python, and we are expected that you are confident with developing software in general. So in the project, you will implement a number of methods, and you will interface with existing libraries in Python. So if you have just learned how to program and do not know Python at all, you might struggle. If you are an expert programmer instead and an expert engineer, but you do not know Python, we believe you will be able to pick up this language with very little effort. So finally, there is an oral exam, and this again is an individual assessment, and it will be undertaken in Zoom and again in Blackboard. This exam requires you to have a webcam for identity verification, and you will have to keep the webcam on for all the session. And again, if you don't have a webcam or interconnection, please get in touch with us ahead of the exam, at least 3 weeks ahead of the exam. The exam will last approximately 45 minutes. There are about 20-30 minutes given to you to work on your own to answer 3 written questions, and then there will be 10-15 minutes to discuss one of the 3 questions that we will randomly sample, one or more that we will randomly sample, and we will ask you to further answer related questions.